YouTube channel. My name is Barry. Today we're going to be watching I spent 30 days in a Dead MMO and it was amazing. The only MMO I really played that I know that's abandoned is one where you could pretend to be a lion. Called like Lion's Quest or something. I can't remember. I'm not a furry anymore.
Welcome to Dark Ages, one of the world's first MMORPGs that once thrived on a player-run economy, player-run politics, and even in-game religions. That was 20 years ago.
And soccer.
Every year since then, the population has slowly dropped. There's no logical, financial, or realistic reason to keep Dark Ages running. But the servers are still running, and for $9.95, I am now a registered player on Dark Ages for 30 days.
Why are his legs so long? He kind of looks like a worm. He's about to throw a holy hand grenade.
30 days to find out if anyone is still playing.
Look good with pants.
And if so, why they're still playing. Okay, we're in, and I'm naked. Okay, looks like we're in some sort of tutorial to start. I'm going to teach you about combat. Be aware that combat is dangerous. Make friends about your same level and adventure in a group. All right, so the game encourages you to make friends. That may be a problem. Now, before I dropped the cheap price of $10 on this game, I looked on Reddit to see if anyone was talking about it, and there's basically nothing except a few posts mentioning how dead the game is. Not a great sign for finding anyone. So the website where you download this game is super old school, but I looked through it and saw a community tab. Oh, there's a list for guilds. There has to be people playing this game with...
Wow, these are like super edgy guilds. Like, look at that Bakuto. Then we got Cult de Carrot. Do I carrot all, or I don't know?
This many guilds. All right.
Dark Heaven. You know a lot of people are in there.
Time to find some people. There's somebody.
There's people. She's naked.
Wait, that was so quick. How am I already finding people in this game?
Hello? He's like an alien looking for contact.
I'm not sure if these are real players or not. They haven't responded in over 5 minutes, and they're blowing nose bubbles. This game has been out for 26 years, so I guess it's fairly unlikely to find anyone in the first town of the game. They're probably somewhere else. So here's the plan for these 30 days. There's two things that can happen. Number one, this game is trash, and there's no real reason for it to be around. So I play 30 days and get out. Or the game turns out to be great.
The only bad thing about the $10 for this video is that you have to remember to unsubscribe. I am the worst at remembering for that. I think I've been paying for Paramount Plus for the last 4 years. I just keep forgetting.
And I do my best to help revive it. The question is, how would I do that? I continued to walk around looking for people, but I had no luck. I think I might be alone. Since there's nothing else to do, I figured I would take a look at my quest list, and it said I should pick up a class. Dark Ages is an MMO, so you choose what type of style of play you want.
Magician,
always
magician.
With priest. I figured if I was going to make any friends, I'd have a much better chance if I became a priest and devote myself to keep others alive. Here's somebody.
Wow, that has to be a paid user, like paying for cosmetics, because the design looks expensive.
Hi.
Hello,
oh my God.
I'm a new player.
Welcome. Not many low levels these days.
I think my questions must have been so obviously ignorant that it caught the attention of a different player nearby.
Why are you playing if there's no one on? Would make me so sad. Like, you're just reminding me that I have nothing better to do.
Is that a real novice?
Dang!
She's confused how I even found this game. That's how you know this game is dead. It sounds like I might have messed up choosing priest, because priests apparently don't learn any attack moves, which means I'd have to find another new player to level up with. So I took a shot in the dark, and I asked this player if they wanted to make a new character with me and level.
Amusing.
I don't know what amusing means, but I think they just laughed at me. But then, it seemed like they might actually be interested. I think I just made my first friend.
Do you think with this system you pay per character? I'm not sure. Like, would she have to pay another $10 to play with them? That would make it a little bit harder to have friends join you because you'd have to just keep paying. Oh, no? Okay, that would be good then. Okay, but then I might as well. I mean, they're just standing around anyway, role-playing.
They spent the next 10 minutes explaining how the game works and provided some info about the classes. They were very knowledgeable and definitely seemed like a veteran, so I asked how long they've been playing.
Too long. This game feels like home to me.
Suddenly,
Aww.
I'm in a group with this person on a fresh account they made. I guess the first goal of Dark Ages is to get level 6. So
What? Guys, I think I'm PMSing. I'm about to cry.
we got to slaying.
They're working together. Why am I gonna cry? Oh, rats, Michael.
There's only like 3 people who play how we currently are. 3 people? When you started playing, was there a lot more players? It used to be thousands. That doesn't seem like a lot, but I guess that's more than 3. There's a lot of fun stuff that happened. It's all in the past.
Oh my god, these are like people waiting for their friend to get back on Xbox Live, but it says last live or last online 10 years ago. Oh my god.
So from my understanding so far, this game has a player base of roughly 30 to 40 people who aren't even really playing the game. They're mostly just hanging out online.
One time there was a corrupt ranger that everyone hated. Dang, he got clout. They're still thinking about him. They still talk about his corruption arc. That's insane.
Not only that, everyone who plays is at the maximum level already, and I might be the first person in over a decade who is truly new. So if religion, politics, and economy
Wait,
in
I'm
over
sorry,
a decade,
I'm also listening,
who
but the
truly
story is
new.
insane. And the entire player base flooded a main travel
So
area
if religion,
in protest. Wow! They shut down the streets!
politics, and economy are clearly not what they used to be,
Wow!
why are people still here? We finished leveling in the crypts, and I was taken on a shopping spree around town to purchase a few items that will help me over the next 30 days. This player was so kind and welcoming, chatty and supportive. I have never seen this level of enthusiasm towards a new player in any other video game.
Honestly, people that were really nice to me was when I was living in Japan, I didn't really have a lot to do at night. So I started playing hardcore classic WoW, and I had somebody follow me around and help me for like 20 minutes. They were so sweet. I didn't know where to go, and they're like, okay, come this way, just follow me. La 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 la. It was awesome.
It almost feels fake, but I know it's probably just the love they have for this game pouring through. We talked for a bit longer, and before we parted ways, I asked if we could stay friends and maybe level up again tomorrow. Overall, not a bad first day in Dark Ages, but there's still lots to learn and possibly more people to meet. While I was offline, word got around that a new player had entered Dark Ages. This game is so dead that the fact that I just logged in as a new player is like the biggest news they've heard in a long time.
Is there gonna be like a bully arc? Are they gonna put him on a flagpole by his underwear and give him a swirly or something? Is there any hazing in this game?
I was introduced to a person named Yuki. Yuki is what the game calls a ranger, basically the police. The ranger's job is to hold players to the terms of service, and they have the power to punish, ban, or delete characters from the game.
That is a lot of responsibility. The closest I ever got to that was a long time ago. They used to have the system in League of Legends. Yeah, throw up. Blah. It's called the Tribunal. I was in the Tribunal, and you would go over ban reports and see if they deserve to get banned or not. And one of them was 5 reports on this one guy who literally stopped playing the game because he said, pizza's here. I'm not playing this stupid shit no more. And he went to go eat a pizza and didn't come back to the ranked game.
We talked for a while, and I was taken to a town. I didn't know where I was, but suddenly I got an invite to a guild. I am now a member of Chocolate. Chocolate! After I joined the guild, Yuki brought me to a specific area in the game where apparently everyone goes to hang out. If I was ever going to see somebody online, they would most likely be here. There's a total of 6 people today, and I think 3 of them are the same person. Ooh, 50 million gold? For some reason, everybody is trading me and giving me random items that I'm sure are important and helpful. I just have no idea what they do.
You're trying to convince him to stay.
I spent a good hour or so here, just hanging out with the other players. On day 3, I returned to the same area and was surprised to see even more players hanging out. Apparently, there...
Did that say Miss Berry or am I a narcissist?
I returned to the same area and was surprised to see even more players hanging out.
Oh, Miss Greenery. What the hell was I thinking? I think I'm a narcissist. Is that why I'm a Twitch streamer?
Apparently, there are a few people who still play the role-playing aspect of this game.
Oh, like the sexy roleplay? Apparently, you didn't hear it from me. There are people on Final Fantasy who work in the strip club and they make Real money for ERP.
This might be weird to some of you, but role-playing is kind of a big part of some video games, and the #1 rule is to never break character. He's new. We need to help him, sis.
I don't know if I've ever been in a family roleplay. A long time ago, oh my god, like 10 people are gonna yell at me for this. I used to roleplay on Skype with other people who were also furries. Not like bad roleplay, but it was like embarrassing. Like if anybody saw my Skype logs, they would probably cry.
What? Later on in the day, I went back to the crypts to slash some enemies and try to level up more when I ran into this guy. He invited me to go deep into the Millith crypts. Apparently, there's some monsters he wants to kill down there to make some money.
Okay.
We ventured down into the crypts together,
That's
and when this guy
crawfish.
was a kid, he could never get past level 11 of this crypt.
Aww.
And now we're in level 11, but we're taking down the monsters pretty easily.
Yes!
It's handy having a priest with me. It's got none on us.
I love all the people in this game. They talk like they're collecting like box tops for schools or something. I don't know. They seem really wholesome.
We continued deeper, and I think the oxygen levels were decreasing because my adventuring friend started to get philosophical on me.
This isn't even 2025. The world has been a...
We were in these crypts now for over an hour, and now that we're on level 15, the monsters were getting a lot tougher. We decided this was a good spot to stop.
I love mimics.
What a
They're
day.
like such a cool design.
A couple of days ago, while talking to people in the hangout spot, I was told that getting the title of Master is a huge milestone for the account.
Especially in Final Fantasy. Meow meow.
My goal by the end of the 30 days
Who put these on me, by the way? That was incriminating. Why would you...
is to reach Master level and throw a party just like they did in the old days. I've been instructed on how I can get Master, and there's a lot of training and steps to take, and they said it could be a few weeks, but that party will be worth it. By day 5, I had a routine where I would log in and head straight to the hangout spot. Anyone who is online is most likely in this spot, so it's nice to just head over here and talk to them for a few minutes. Since this game has been around for ages, one of our conversations led to the question of who is the most well-known player. I asked this
It's probably that guy who was like in political strife with the community.
question as I remembered old school RuneScape and Zezima. I'm sure Dark Ages probably has a Zezima equivalent. Some famous players are still around for sure.
Oh.
All right, it sounds like there are a few famous players around, and one called Biomagus.
Okay.
Yuki, the ranger we met on day 2, said Biomagus has her own statue.
What?
We took a long walk to a different town, and the statue slowly came into view.
Whoa.
Yuki told me their story. The first people to ever master. I think it's so cool
that's
that this
cool.
game puts statues in it as a
That's
memoir for the
awesome.
first 5 players to ever reach Master.
Guys, I miss when games cared about the community. Is that not insane? That is so nice that they did that.
Biomagus, the statue here on the left, was the first wizard to reach Master level and
Aw.
still plays to this day. And I guess she's online right now. However, she spends her time sitting in a quiet area of the game and chats with her old guildmates. Probably doesn't want to be disturbed. But one day I might get to meet her. Dark Ages
famous.
is turning out to have a rich history and a lot more lore and story to it than I could have ever thought. I almost feel like I missed out on something by not having known about this game earlier on. I spent a lot of time with Yuki today, and she showed me some of her favorite spots in Dark Ages.
Oh, cool.
I'll remind you that Yuki is a ranger who has powers a normal player can't have, which
Wow.
includes this jail. Now here is my favorite room.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Is she a corrupt police officer? What does she mean, her favorite room?
The jail. If I jail someone, they appear in here, and they cannot exit for a period of time. First jail is 24 hours.
What?
And it doubles up the more you get. Well, when's the last time you sent someone here?
Right
A
now.
couple weeks ago. I was expecting years. That means in 1 year, I sent 98 people into this room.
She's keeping count. Oh my god. She's got Reddit mod levels of crazy.
It's kind of crazy to think she sent that many people to jail. The player
My
base
other
is not
character is over 600 people in jail? Oh my god.
that large. So to send 98 people to jail in 1 year sounds like it could have ruined the entire player ecosystem. She then told me to make a new character because she has an even cooler power she wanted to show me.
Oh, what is
You
that?
are
I'm
here
scared.
because you have been charged with attempting to destroy the imagination that the Dark Ages team and players have painstakingly created. Yuki calls this place Super Jail.
Like the guy with the hat? What is Super Jail?
Apparently it trolls you a little and you're not even able to leave. Imagine playing this game for 20 years and Yuki sends you here, wiping the last 2 decades of progress in a single moment.
Wow.
Okay, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned 2 things that will happen in these 30 days. We're only 6 days in, and I'm confirming right now, Dark Ages is a good game. So that means I am now devoted to bringing this game back to life. The mastering party is the only idea I have right now, but I've got to think of something else. This game deserves to have more players. We have reached...
Do you think after this video came out, a lot more people tried the game? That would make me so happy if everybody here was like, wow, it's like the good days again. This is awesome.
1 week on Dark Ages, and I am so happy to have met the people I've met. Everyone is so nice and welcoming, giving gifts and showing me around the world. If you remember, I mentioned that religion is a part of Dark Ages as well.
What they could do with the success of this video is make this game free to play, or at least give a free trial, and then see if people like it. Especially because, how well did the video do? Yeah, 3 million views. They could definitely try to get more people to play the game. And the police officer lady would like that because now she has more people to put in Super Jail.
There are a number of gods you can worship, all with different attributes. You can freely choose who you want to worship, but you do have to select just one of them. I chose to worship Glioka, the god of love and companionship. 2 things I feel I've strongly
She's
felt
beautiful.
since signing up for this game. Cheesy, I know. In order to join a religion,
no, I like
a high
it.
priest from the church has to initiate you. Like, a real player from your specific religion must be online and help you join. A few
Wow.
Glioka followers helped me, and it didn't take long to join, and now that I'm a part of it, the players decided we should hold mass. I was surprised to see so many people come from all corners of this game to join in mass.
Are they gonna baptize him?
I learned that there's actually in-game benefits for showing up, like 15% damage buffs for 1 hour after you attend. You can also lose favor if you don't come to the statue and pray often, so that's probably another reason why people are showing up. A few words. We thank thee for the love and the privilege of receiving it, Mother who smiles upon us in our weakness and is always ready to help us and take us in the arms of love.
Is this already written or is this ChatGPT shenanigans? Honestly, I believe that he probably just came up with this by himself.
In Glioka's name, amen.
Amen, chat, amen.
Amen.
I learned that
Amen.
eventually I could even have high
Wait, isn't she a lady god? It should be a woman. A woman.
enough status in the church to hold mass as a high priest. There's a whole system involved with that too, all player run. So far, we've made plenty of friends, joined a guild, learned about the history of Dark Ages, joined a church, and met a dude who doesn't believe in time.
2020.
I'd say we've had a successful start to the game, and I'm starting to see why people choose to play.
Holy crap. Look at that guy's drip back there. He said, I only want glasses, my sword, and my mullet, and maybe some shoes. He is walking around naked.
Even after all these years.
He's like the, let me solo her of this game, probably.
But before the 30 days are over, I will become what they call a master. There's still a lot of work to do, and the next couple of days were spent doing that. On day number 9, I spent time in the dojo training my spells. On day 10, 11, 12, and 13, I was still in the dojo training spells. But on the end of day 13, things just got insane. The process required to get master is long and absurd, and even though I had help, I still had no idea what was going on. An example of what I mean. I was introduced to the craziest in-game system I have ever seen in a video game. First, you take these succubus hairs.
What? From
yes,
where? What kind of hair is that?
Heard that right. You place them in this altar, which looks more like a hollowed out almond, and then you're supposed to kill yourself. You can kill yourself by walking in front of this dude, who for some reason hurts your character if you're nearby him. Great, now I'm in purgatory. But that's all intended because in this death zone, you walk aimlessly into a bunch of stones until you find the entrance to the lower level. Here, you can trade in your excess experience for HP and mana with the 2 god and devil things.
Okay.
Apparently, this is all required if I want to reach master, and there is no way in hell I would have figured out any of this if I didn't have someone helping me. So yeah, this is just some of the things I've been doing over the last few days. I had a busy couple of days in real life, and there were still a few spells I had to train in the dojo, but by day 19, after spending a week training spells and doing some things that were probably honestly too boring to show you,
I would have watched.
have made it to master. Or
oh, look, they said, whoopee, you go, kiddo. I think I had too many exclamation points. Oh, you're mastering? This is so cute. This is adorable.
we're at least ready to become a master. Back in the good old days of Dark Ages, it was
Hypercam.
customary.
That is such a throwback. The unregistered hypercam too. I used to do speed paints on the very first YouTube channel I had when I was like 8. And I always had to use hypercam because it was the only thing I could find online. And for the music, what I did was, because I didn't know how to download anything yet because I was a child, I would take my stick mic and I would hold it to the speaker, blast the music as loud as I could, and record it, and then put it on the video in Windows Movie Maker.
That guilds would hold parties for people who reached master rank. Wanting to bring back that tradition, I will also have a party. I've already sent out a letter to the guild with a time and a date.
I must reveal the truth.
What's happening?
Uh-oh.
What is Never talking about?
The Bindu you all think you know.
What?
In truth,
I'm
he is a
scared.
spy. A demon, at that.
What? Amusing. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I have revealed the true Bindo.
After the fanatics were over, I turned in what I needed to turn in to become a master wizard.
Party, party, party!
Yeah, I was
nuts.
a priest, but I guess I'm a wizard now. It's hard to explain, but just I'm a priest and a wizard.
Oh, they get
essentially.
hats!
Random internet people just showed up to an in-game party to congratulate me on mastering. I'll say it again, Dark Ages is a great game. But what do I do now? I still have about 1 week left of membership to Dark Ages, and I would love to find a way to help revive this game. And
He did, basically. Like, this is probably the most help they've ever had. He showed this video to 3 million people. There's a chance.
And as I was figuring that out, I was approached by Never, a player who's been around since day one, lurking in the shadows.
Wasn't that the guy that just tried to kill him?
His intuition is pretty strong, and he confronted me and
Okay, I stopped my investigation into YouTuber was my best guess. Ruh-roh. He got Scooby-Doo on his investigation team because they figured it out.
accusing in the shadows. His intuition is pretty strong, and he confronted me and accused me of being a YouTuber. I lied,
of being a
but
YouTuber.
I felt bad about that. So the next day, I told him he was right, and I asked if he wanted to hop into a voice call.
It's insane you picked this game. Because, like, from the outside, it looks insane, I think.
Yeah, like, you just there's no guessing what type of game it is. Like, I really had no idea what to expect.
Like,
I think walking in the maze is an equivalent of being on Discord with your friends late at night and you're kind of ready to go to bed, but you want to chat. So you keep parkouring over all of the items and then just talking and not even playing the game anymore.
one of my biggest complaints is there's not enough players to really engage with some of the systems of, like, the politics and, like, the more deep systems that, like, are just require more people,
like the
right?
gods.
And because there isn't that many players, some people will register, like, 5 accounts a month, right? So that's like $50 a month just there.
Jeez.
And they have to do that because there's just not enough players to do what they want to. Does that make sense?
Like, if their game...
They have to make their own family. Oh my god, they have to make people for their religion. They have to make people to walk around and perform mayor duties. That's insane. That's a lot to manage. I think some people have multiple RuneScape accounts though. I don't know. I wanted to get into MMOs, but I'm just too poor.
If suddenly there was like 1,000 players online.
Unfortunately, last time it was COVID, the pandemic, to kind of get people coming back.
Aw.
But, like, I feel like something else could be the catalyst for that too, right? Like, free to play
Yes.
or, like,
That's what I
honestly, a
said.
very popular video, right?
We chatted
Yes!
for longer, like 2 more hours, actually.
Wow.
And by day 30, I knew why people still play Dark Ages. We live in a time where things change so quickly. As millennials, we've experienced the creation of the internet, and I can remember being 10 years old, rushing home after school to hop on my favorite video game. For me,
Yep.
that would be old school RuneScape. I still get chills when I hear some of the music from that game. The internet and PC gaming.
What was the one where you could shake people's screens? That was so obnoxious. There was like a chatting thing where you go. That was horrible.
Was so innocent back then. Dark Ages was the same for those
MSN,
few
yeah.
thousand people who played it. And for these last 30 days, Dark Ages has become a part of my routine. Every night, I am excited to log in and hang out with the players. I believe this game was great, and even if the player base doesn't increase, I believe the few remaining players makes it still great.
Aww. Aww. I'm gonna cry again, guys. I'm going through it. Oh, they thank them individually. That is so wholesome. Aw, and Banana Nut Man. You must eat a lot of pineapple. Oh! I don't know why that cut to that. But here's your flashbang, everybody. That was a great video. I want to know how many people are playing the game right now. Is there a way to check? Dark Ages player... Actually, let's just... Oh, I brought up Dark Ages from history. Dark Ages game. Wow, wait, their Reddit is 1,000 people now. It looks like it still kind of looks the same. Wow, wait, there's featured. Look at this. Look at how tiny it is. They have updates, install issues because so many people were probably installing the game. Look at the beautiful art, screenshot of the day. That's so wholesome. They have community, everything over here. Look at that. This is so cute. Wow, I feel like I'm back on ZOMG. This is awesome. Screenshots. Oh, look how cute. This is awesome. Do you think the police officer's in here? Wait, is that... Who's this? These are cool. These look really cool. I think he definitely helped. Wait, is the game free to play now? Did they do that? June updates. Did they make it free to play? June events. Aww, this is so cool. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. This video was great. I loved it. 900 million hearts out of 10. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.